The sky's on fire, and I'm gonna let it burn. I'm a little wiser, but I can only learn.
Outside in, and it doesn't like
I don't know why, I don't know when. Maybe when I get back, I'll tell you that I still don't know, and I don't want to pretend. So I'll just smile quietly instead.
Therein lies the illusion.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a...
You guys,
The world's running away.
So I remember I was like, I need this. I need this in my life. Because
We'll go
this is our project,
separate
or my actually my side right here.
sun.
Yeah, this is like this is gonna be the hip armor. I actually just drafted that.
Don't get me wrong, I've been no grudge. I'm just trying to wade my way out of the sludge. I've been up to my knees for I don't know how long. I just want to get clean out on my own.
It's time consuming. That took me an hour and a half just to do that.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
That reminds me.
And that's how thick the fabric can go through.
Yeah.
We've got one.
Yes.
My parents met there, and my grandmother was queen there.
Embroidery work.
But I changed my mind at the last minute.
The sky's on fire, and I'm gonna let it burn.
Doing it competitively.
Turn right onto Campbell Street, then
Dogs first.
It doesn't like crowds, which is.
The sky's
Wow,
on
there's more stuff back here.
fire,
This is like our...
and I'm gonna let it
This is one
burn.
from Planet Comic Con last year. Will Wheaton had never done it.
I'm a little wiser,
Right.
So I printed this
but I
out.
can only learn.
Because then you can get all the fans in each area. It's
I don't know why, I don't know when. Maybe when I get back, I'll tell you then that I still don't know, and I don't want to pretend. So I'll just smile quietly instead.
My first cosplay was actually at the second NakaCon in 2006. Yeah.
2006 was NakaCon too.
I
Oh.
made an heiress costume, and I made her weapon, which was made of a steel pipe, foam, duct tape, and Christmas ornaments for the materia. That went real well. And this is all just a base jacket with applique. So this is the base heavy spandex jacket. This is like your football pant kind of weight stuff with the decorative lighter spandex on top of it. And then applique on top. This one's actually a yoga mat.
I broke it in cosplay combat, being
Can't
silly.
forget about your Sakura appearance that year either.
NakaCon 2006. There's a event called Cream the Cosplayer where you pay $1 and get to throw a pie at a cosplayer. We had Yu-Gi-Oh, Sakura, and
I wasn't actually there.
someone else. I forget who the third was, but
I eternally regret that I was not there.
we had a pink wig and an extra Sakura shirt, and so I put on a pair of swim trunks and got pies thrown at me.
I have photographic proof.
Yeah. Old Nerf gun modified to emit like fog smoke and lights and all that for like a death ray type of thing.
A pattern that I found online for a program called Pepakura. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yep.
And so I printed everything out, and it took about 40 hours, I think, to glue everything together because there are so many tiny little pieces. We met in high school originally, but really got to know each other through Anime Club
In college.
in college. Yeah. So that was nice.
That's beautiful. I love how you put them in a nice box.
Yeah, I was still really surprised when they put me on the front page of the Kansan, which is the University of Kansas newspaper. I still don't know how that happened. But, you know, I had to keep a copy.
Saving people.
Right, exactly. We tend to throw costume parties a lot because a lot of our friends like dressing up, and we'll be like, hey, we're having a Christmas party. Everybody has to come in costume. And they're like, okay.
And the theme this year is...
Yeah. Sometimes we'll have themes, sometimes we're like, just do what you
Whatever.
want. And it's like, we rarely have a Halloween party now, oddly, because it seems kind of redundant. This is our sewing room. Originally, it was completely unfinished.
There was no floor.
There was no ceiling.
floor.
It was
No
just
walls.
bare bones, skeleton, a lot of insulation you could still see, and they brought us upstairs. I remember this. They said, hey, you can turn this into a sewing room, and I was like, I need this. I need this in my life. Because originally, when I lived with my parents, who live like 20 minutes away, we had this tiny little room that used to be my sister's room before she moved out. It was half the size of this room. Oh yeah, this cute little door here, this leads to our fabric storage. You can take a peek in there. There's a lot of boxes.
There are a lot of boxes. And it goes, it goes all the way down.
Fabric. These are my crafting stations.
This is your crafting station. Then your sewing station's over there. Then you got supplies and so forth. What are those envelopes?
This is all patterns. That
they're all patterns.
Yeah, that we've used, or that I've drafted myself. Yeah. This is like, I keep patterns because you never know when you can use them again. And the worst part is I used to work in the fabric section of Walmart, and so they gave me stuff.
The sewing area, so I actually, this is my birthday present. I love it. My old one was a $50 machine I had since I was 16. So
so it was time for kind of like an upgrade.
It was time. So yeah, and then this is my project one, and mine's more of a like these are my fake leathers and real leathers. I've got my hides in here. This is my spandex drawer,
and I don't know, it's a couple years old now, but I'm like, I can't get rid of it. I love it so much. It speaks to us though, because
I fully intend on, like, I'm actually looking forward when I'm old enough, like Grandma Sophie and some of the cool old cosplays. It's like, alright, until, it's like, probably about until 40 I'll do the younger ones, and it's like, alright, switch over, do some
When I get old, I'm going to be Alfred from Batman.
Yes! I like it.
So yeah, it's kind of one of those weird things, or like, you look at our room and we're surrounded by like the Avengers and Doctor Who and all these cartoon characters, and then we're like, oh yeah, we go to work and we pay our bills and stuff like that. So I'm laughing, and I forgot the next line. She's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more.
In a half mile, take the Missouri 291 South exit toward Harrisonville.
Fourth generation of my mother, her mother, and her mother's mother.
So you come from a family known for sewing.
And it's not just the girls. All the guys know how to sew as well.
Was saying something, and one of them was my professor.
I did a presentation in cosplay for one of my dystopian literature classes.
Oh, is that the one that you did the body distortion paper on? That was really cool.
Yeah, because I was talking about also how far we've come and being able to manipulate our bodies to do, like I talked about the fawn makeup and stuff like that cosplayers do all the time.
Yeah.
And just how easy it is to manipulate things like that.
And I was looking at all these people who were making all their stuff, and I was like, I really want to do that. So I mean, from there it was just teaching myself how to sew until I met Shawnee, and she's taught me a lot. I'm actually working with my girlfriend's mom, who's also a really good seamstress, who's teaching me more advanced work, and I'm slowly getting better.
It's my mom's. Her joke is that she said that I cosplayed before I was born because my dad is an anime fan and a sci-fi fan. My mom is a sci-fi fan. And when she was pregnant, she went to a convention and got on stage with like a little aluminum foil egg that said the Starman was here from like this old sci-fi movie.
So you're kind of like second generation geek.
Yeah, third actually, because my parents met at I don't know. Have you ever heard of Society for Creative Anachronism?
Yes.
My parents met there, and my grandmother was queen there.
I know, exactly.
No, you gotta sit up.
No, Velcro, you gotta sit pretty.
There you go.
But the thing that I really like most is if you stop for a moment and just look around, and you'll see people obviously with bought ones, which is absolutely perfect, because that's how I got started. And then you see people like Nay, who's got the really elaborate ones that they've handmade, and you see people just walking around with stuff that they've created, the stuff that they've made. With Joanne's patterns, like what I'm doing, and just having a great time. That's what I love to see. That's the thing that really gets me about conventions.
And I've been doing costuming stuff for years. I remember asking my grandfather when I was 5 years old to help me make a Godzilla suit for Halloween. And it just kind of, once I found out that you could dress up as the characters as well from these series, it just kind of went from there.
Michaels has this type of yarn that's literally flat like this. That's all glittery and shiny, and 72 yards for $2 versus trim. Because I was going to hand embroider all this.
You see a raccoon?
She wants to chase out fox out of here. Home front decorate color something acrylic something something. I don't know what other words these mean.
Well, it's black and it covers it up, so that's all that matters.
And then I have to restring it because the ribbon I used fell apart. Just how like all kinds of different people can just have the same interest in stuff without having any like contrast and stuff, but there's always, you know, the haters and stuff, or the ones who don't really get it and thinks it's kind of childish. But technically it's just kind of like fun to, but I personally would probably say this for most, it's fun to express your, you know, your love for happiness when you play or read some of your fandoms or something. I mean,
it actually started as my grandmother used to make my Halloween costumes for my sister and I when we were younger, and I started, I guess, cosplaying as like Xena Warrior Princess and like the Pink Power Ranger and stuff like that, and I started really wanting to learn how she would do it every year. So I had her start teaching me from probably I was about like 10 years old or so, just basic things like, you know, she'd let me like hem up something or just like hand sew part of everything, and basically as I got more interested in it and really into the cosplay scene, I started taking sewing classes in addition to that, just basically supplementing all the skills that she had taught me, and it's improved so much because I had the practical knowledge but not really the technical jargon for it. Like I couldn't be like, oh, you just blind hem that and it'd be alright, because I could show people but not put it in practice basically, but it's definitely become a lot more challenging with like beading work and resin crafting and like using model magic for props and stuff like that. It's just gotten a lot more challenging, and it's fun, more so than stressful now, to go ahead and do that. It's definitely to just slow down and appreciate the details in it, because there have been one too many times where I've tried to rush everything like the week before the con, and I realized like after seeing it, I'm like, I could have done that so much better. So it's probably just slowing down and just like really looking at details and things like that, because it makes or break a cosplay easily.
Poster board that I put over a PVC pipe and took like strips of leather and did the hilt, and then that's craft foam, and then I have fiberglass resin this.
Yeah, I think it still has surpassed mine for armor and everything like that. But
yeah, I still cannot sew very well.
Yeah.
We're like kind of going through, I'm sort of taking like sewing lessons from her right now so that I don't have to have her sew stuff for me that I need. So I've always been kind of like a kid at heart, so, you know, I've definitely stayed childish growing up, and, you know, it's like a fun outlet for that, and that's how we want to raise Rainey, is to have fun and enjoy the things she likes, so, you know, why should you have to,
put your toys away at a certain age?
Really.
Yeah.
You know?
'Cause it's still fun, like, you know, why would I feel like that's the thing though, is, before I met her, I think I was starting to sort of conform to, you know, like, nobody likes this stuff except me, so, like, there goes my Star Wars stuff or whatever. It's like, might as well not, like, hang on to this fun stuff, because...
Wait, what's she doing now? Oh, she found the...
She's gonna make something.
You gonna make something?
Hey! Yeah, like, that's kind of, like, kidding.
Oh, too heavy for you?
Our wedding was, like, all Final Fantasy music, and, you know, it was classy, but we still, like, incorporated nerd things to it. Zelda, like, sound effects when I opened the treasure chest of ring.
That sounds actually pretty cool.
After we kissed, it was the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, bum 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 bum, the fan.
Yeah.